Hi again, and welcome to It's Not Rocket Science 5 Questions Over Coffee. I have in front of me my favorite grizzly bear mug, which I love. I remember seeing those in Canada, so they were a great experience. I'm here with Kim Hayden. Kim, I know it's very early for you, and I guess you've got a coffee in order to keep you going.
I have my tea actually. I don't do coffee. I'm not old enough for coffee yet. But yes, this is my Phoenix mug because in the last few days in Calgary, we have dropped into this wicked deep freeze with lots of snow. So I'm just pretending inside. I got my little warmer underneath my feet, some blanket for my legs, and I got my Phoenix mug.
I
It's
don't blame
fiery
you.
warm.
I don't blame you. So Kim is here to talk about her program. She creates authority assets for women in entrepreneurship. And talking about speakers and videos. I'm really looking forward to this conversation, Kim. So I hope you're ready to go. Let's start with the first question, which is, what is the sort of ideal client you try and work with?
All righty. So our ideal client is going to be female, more likely in the 30, between 30 and 55, kind of 35 to 55. She will be a practitioner or a coach with some sort of education background within that, right? Or a professional speaker. And these women are all going to be just that next level into, you can actually see the six figures, like, with that little added uh, tweak to their business with their presentation, they will actually land in the six-figure range. So the average female in that classification in North America is $46,000 a year. And so our goal is to take the ones that are ready to move into the 100K a year.
That's a really interesting niche. And so, how do you find that the people who are in that sort of space, who are ready to go to that next level, what have they tried to do on their own without help that hasn't quite got them there?
So for women, we have three key objections. Okay. I don't have any money. I
Hmm.
have to talk to my husband, or I think I may have already tried that. Okay. So the first one, you don't have any money. Well, you don't make money without actually investing money in assets. And I'm not talking about, a new shirt or something like that. I'm talking about things that you can actually send to people who will potentially hire you, pay you to do something. And if you are not investing 7%, so if whatever you're investing, as long as it's 7% of what you want to make, you're investing enough. But if you're investing a few $100s to do something on the cheap and you want to make $100,000, you're not going to make it. People see cheap. People know quality. So we come in and do that. The challenge is most women are, especially women who are in solid relationships or in marriages or partnerships. A lot of times they don't want to talk to their partner because they think they've already tried something like that. And so they're afraid to broach the conversation of financial investment or putting money into this. So they then try and do it on themselves. Yes, it's okay if you're already known to do all the videos, on your phone and stuff. But you could do a video on phone, but if you don't edit it right, if you don't cut it right, if you don't light it right, it's just a video on a phone that anybody else can do. So what are you doing that's above the grade? That's the biggest challenge is they're like, I already did it and it didn't work. It's like, you didn't do it right.
It's interesting, isn't it? I was having a conversation with somebody only 2 days ago, and their conversation with me was along the same lines, and it was very much along the sort of what I would describe as the poverty mindset. Their attitude was very much one of, well, I don't want to spend that much because I don't want to look too expensive for my clients, because I don't want to increase my prices because I'll end up putting the people off that I want to reach. And my answer to them was, well, to start with, nobody buys cheap and hopes for the best. They always look around and say, what's the most I can afford? So start off by appealing to that, and use that expense to make that investment in yourself, to value and to justify the value that you're going to bring. So it's sometimes it's a poverty mindset, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think of it like this. The reality, and because I've been watching the Olympics. By the way, the UK's snowboarder, that little gal's story is awesome. But she didn't get to the Olympics with the coach that she started with when she was 6 years old. But she started with the coach when she was 6 years old. So you need to start somewhere and escalate upward if you want to make it to the big games. Otherwise, you don't get there. You don't get there. And nobody, I want to make this very clear. And I'm looking right at the camera. You are not that special. I am not that special. Nobody's going to save you, and nobody's going to magically find you. Brene Brown spent 30 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars in her messaging before she was discovered overnight. So, what you put in is what you're going to get out.
Yeah, no, you're very right. You're very right. Now, I'm going to hope that the next question is going to be the answer to some of that stuff that we were just doing. Is there a valuable free asset, a valuable free resource that you are hoping that people will be able to come away from it? And at this point, I hope what I'm going to do is click on your website, and that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen now. So tell us, is there things that we can go and see where we can actually sort of get the help that we're sort of all looking for?
Absolutely. So first off, I do live streams all throughout the week, podcasts all throughout the week. I'm constantly talking. And the best resource is finding the right questions. Listen to the people out there and ask the right questions. That's it. That's huge. I get a lot of that information. There are, there's so much you can learn from there. I do give everybody, I always have 6 months free with no credit card information or anything like that. I have 6 months free to my membership. So, get in there, and that includes if we're going to do a book launch, they can come to that for free. Like, it's all included. So it's, yes, nice point with the poverty. You know what? I want to share with you, my mom always said, so I was raised very, very, very poor. I am from a trailer park, originate from a trailer park in Wichita, Kansas. I dropped out of high school and was a hairdresser and a single mom by the time I was 20. So the reality is, my mother would always say, and she'd have us put our skirts on and straighten our tops and clean ourselves up, even though all of our clothes were secondhand. And she'd say, Kimberly Jo, poverty is a state of mind, not a state of economics. Sit up straight. And, we were the charity case at school. We were, everybody knew, the McFadden girls, right? Everybody knew that. But we didn't look it and we didn't act it because we walked in with pride, because we were good people. And we invested in ourselves, and we invested in the relationship of our family.
I like that, Kim. I really do. Listen, I really recommend people go to resilienceseries.com. Listen to some of what Kim's doing in terms of the podcasting and the live streaming. There are some great stuff on there. I poked around. I'm not a woman, so therefore it's not necessarily her target audience. But I've had a good look around, and there's some really excellent stuff in there that even I decided I can pick up on. So get into resilienceseries.com and have a look around at what's going on. And there's some really interesting stuff in there. Kim, listen, I'm hoping that the next question is going to be equally fascinating. Is there a particular book or concept or program which really you think drove your thinking and also can add some value to the audience we've got watching at the moment?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm like you, Stuart. I learn from every person I come across, right? I learn from all my clients. I will say that one of my favorite people that I follow, that I've been following for a few years now, is Mel Robbins. I can really, I understand a lot of what she's gone through, the near bankruptcy, the loss of business, the fear of financials. Mel even talks about how she was afraid to even get out of bed because it was rough, right? And if you're sitting in that spot, I don't have a book for you, but I will tell you, go and listen to the Mel Robbins 5-second rule, because she gets really raw and gritty, and we have all been there.
I love Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. It is a really important one. If you're struggling to get out of bed, count to 5, just do it. It is such a great way of overcoming that resistance and stopping that thought of, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. It's a really brilliant way of just breaking through all those barriers, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Terrific. Now, Kim, I guess there's one question you're currently sitting there thinking, I guess I wish he'd ask. I wish he'd ask. I wish he asked. So, what's the question you wish that I was going to ask you at the moment? And then once you've asked that question, you're the best one to do it. You answer that question for us.
Okay. What's the one question? So why the Resilient Series? Why the Authority Accelerator? That's the question I would love for you to ask.
And why?
Because I'm good at producing. I've produced lots of TV shows and for CTV and Shaw TV here in Canada. So these are broadcast level. And I love seeing an amazing story wait to unfurl. And that's what I see all my clients as, is these incredible stories that people need to hear. But I take it seamlessly from their digital TV documentary, which is a 6 to 8 minute series, all the way through to their sizzle reel from their speaking. So it literally, TV, book, speaking, and all the digital assets to promote them in that. And that's what I love to do. I love to produce amazing women.
Brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. Kim, it's been fascinating having you on. Thank you so much for getting up in the cold and getting out with your tea. I've still got this is the grizzly bear that I remember seeing just off the coast of Vancouver. So I was really impressed by doing that. Kim, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with us. Really appreciate you being here for a few minutes. I'm just going to remind you all listening, if you would like to get on our mailing list so that you can too join us as Layla did and watch these recordings live and be able to ask questions and make comments, go to https://. I'm not sure I think most people know that bit nowadays. So we'll just concentrate on the real bit, which is tca.fyi/subscribe. That's tca.fyi/subscribe. That takes you to the mailing list. Sign up, get on it so that you can see us tell you in an email at the beginning of the week who's going to be on, what they're going to be talking about, and how you can get in and join with them and ask those sort of questions and listen to such inspiring stuff such as Kim's done this morning, talking to us about this really brilliant stuff. Kim, thank you so much for being on. Really appreciate the time you spent with us. And I hope the rest of the day is going to be good as you launch into it.
Thank you, Stuart.